I'm T-Junkie, and welcome back to part 28. In this part, I had a little idea of making some teleporters, because I believe we actually might be using these later on in our game, because at the moment I'm just creating as many objects and everything as possible. That way we could just construct levels, put objects in as prefabs and create levels that way. Now as you can see, I've got two teleporters I created. The models will be on the website. And apart from the model, I've added a destination, which is an empty game object which I've positioned just above the pad and centered it. I've also got a teleport trigger as well, which I created this exactly the same way as I created our changing level trigger, by creating a cube, deleting the mesh renderer off the cube, and then adjusting the collider to the size and the height I want it. Now by doing this, the pad the pad of the model I've had to do as a box collider. The button is a box collider as well, but the actual frame itself is a mesh collider. The same reason for the button up there. If I do this a box collider, the colliders will intersect each other on the button here, and it's no good. Plus it's a slightly more complicated model, so doing a box collider would just make a big old box, and that's not good for us at all. Now this might be quite simple, it should be simple enough. Right, I got my two pads, I got one down there and one up here. They're exactly the same. I've just copied the model and added a couple of parts before I copied it. Make sure you've got clear names. Destination is self-explanatory, it's where the player's going to end up when you're teleported. The trigger is what's actually going to teleport the player. And of course I've labelled the different parts of the actual model itself. So the button is, well, the button. It's good to have it descriptive for the names so you don't get lost. But we're going to have to create a couple of scripts. Now the first script I'm going to create is a teleport button script. The teleport button script. Now in this we're going to need a public GUI skin, not skin settings, skin, and then I'm going to call it game skin. Now we can create on void on GUI function, and then we could just say GUI.skin equals game skin. This is so we can do that when the player hovers their mouse over the button, to do it that way. Now what we're going to need is to create everything. We're going to do a ball because we need to do hover. So private underscore ball underscore is hover equals false for now. And then above the GUI, it doesn't really matter, I'm going to put void on mouse enter. And I'm going to say underscore is hover equals true, and void on mouse exit underscore is hover equals false. And now, because I believe we've actually named it exactly the same, if we go into, where is it, button script, this display message here, we can just copy it. We don't actually need to write it ourselves. So underneath here, put it in there, Then in the on GUI function, just type display message. And there we go. So now the message will display. Now I'm going to need a couple more. I'm going to get a public game object, and I'm going to call this local teleporter, and then public game object and then destination teleporter. The reason for this is when you teleport into one, you want to turn off the trigger that you teleport into. So when you say if you activate both teleporters, like to activate one teleporter which teleports you, then you activate that teleporter to teleport you back. There'll be a weird constant infinite teleport thing going on if you don't disable one as you activate the other. So in the update, what you want to do is you want to say if input dot get button down, and then our use key, and let's go is hover equals true. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Is true. Then I'm going to say local teleporter dot get component. I'm going to say box collider dot enabled equals true, and then I'm going to say destination teleporter dot get component box collider dot enabled equals false. And the reason for this is that if you have the reason why I'm doing this in the button is because I want the buttons to control how the teleporter behaves. We're going to be creating another script in the moment which is what will actually teleport our player. Now if we save that off, we go back to Unity and we click on our button. Teleport button script, I'm just going to drag on here. Now we need the game skin. Then we need the local teleport, which is this teleport trigger. And then destination teleport, which is... Whoops, did I just... Teleport trigger, that teleport trigger. And then the destination is that teleport trigger. Then what I can do is I come down to this button, add the teleport button, add the game skin onto it. Then the local teleport will be this teleport trigger, and then the destination will be this teleport trigger. Make sure that the the teleport triggers, the box colliders are disabled. Otherwise, it'll teleport you straight away without pushing the button. So both of them have to be disabled. Now this will activate the trigger, but the trigger actually doesn't do anything at the moment. So I'm just going to create another C# script. Just going to call it teleport trigger script. Now in this, I want to create public game object, and then I'm going to call it teleport destination. And then I'm going to create a public game object, and I'm just going to call this player. Now I'm going to create a void on trigger enter, and then in the on trigger enter I'm going to say that player dot transform dot position is equal to teleport destination dot transform dot position. Basically what I mean is the player will then inherit the destination's transform position. So basically, in essence, teleporting right there. Now, if I go into the teleport trigger of our bottom one here, add the teleport trigger on here, the teleport destination will be the destination of the other teleport, and the player will be our FPS controller. Now if I go into this teleport trigger, I drag the script onto this one as well. Our player is the same player, our destination is the opposite, so it's the other teleport's destination. Now if I click play, and there's no errors, walk up to our button, so we don't get teleported straight away, we look at it. If I push E at the moment, it's going to do nothing. If I push it now, I appear down here. If I push it again, I'm here. And that is how you create a teleport. Now in the next video, which will be out Monday, I'll be going through adding sounds to everything. So the door will have a sound, the buttons will have sounds, the teleport will have sound, when you pick up a coin there'll be sound. Basically I'm going to go through all the scripts adding sounds in, so we can actually add more than just this annoying footstep sound. Alright, thank you all for watching. I'm a teacher, see you next time. But goodbye.